Today I'm changing a tire pressure sensor on my Cadillac XT5 2017, and I think this is similar to a lot of GM tire pressure sensors. The other day I'm driving along and it just went dead and wouldn't read a pressure anymore for that one tire, and I tried to reprogram it, and when I got to this wheel it didn't react to the activating tool, so it's dead. I had to get a new one. Here's the new part, and here's the part number for my vehicle, and I think this is probably used on a lot of other GMs as well. This is what it looks like. It's in the brass part. You can see that's got those little holes there, and that's where when you fill the tire or let the air out of the tire, it comes out through those brass, in that brass piece there. And then this hole in the white plastic part is where it senses the pressure, and then you got your electronics inside here and a battery. And I don't know how long the battery lasts, but like I said, this is a 2017, and we're in fall of 2025 right now, or late summer. So anyway, that's when it went bad. Probably I'll be doing this again for the other wheels. And notice that it has, if I can get it to focus, this little screw, and that holds this plastic and electronic lump onto the end of it, onto the end of that brass piece. Now you leave this all connected on the new part, but when you're taking this out, and by the way I got access to this was to put those blocks of wood in. You know, I broke the bead on the tire and put those blocks of wood in, and I put that tape in there just so that nothing falls in, because I'm going to have a loose screw and a little Torx bit on a 1/4-inch drive ratchet. So there's, plus the electronic part itself, any of those things could fall in there once I take the screw out. So I put that tape in there just so that wouldn't happen, so it would catch it. So I've got this Torx bit. It's a T10, and that fits right on that screw right here. It's hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time. There. Yep, it's definitely a good idea to put that tape there. I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, so I got the screw out, and the tool is there, and it's definitely good to have the tape. That makes it a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about dropping things. All right, so now I'm going to take off this part. Okay, it didn't come off too hard. I just had to have 2 hands and 2 sets of fingers, and I just pulled on it a little bit and it came off. So it wasn't that difficult. I just couldn't do it with one hand. So that's that's what you see. It's part of just the valve stem, this part. So now I'm putting on my valve stem removing tool. Just a standard tool you see in tire shops all the time. Just tighten that down. And get a little blocked as a fulcrum. Okay. Oops. That's out. Anyway, that's what that looks like. So I got that out of there, and now I'm just going to use a vacuum cleaner with a little attachment to clean this up. And just clean this up a little bit more. Yep, you know how it goes. So this is the new part, and just take the valve cap off so I can use the installation tool, the removal tool, installation tool. It does both. So this is going to go in here like this. Remember that screw faces out where you can get at it when you want to change this again. And so just like that. Okay. Just holds there with friction for the time being. So I've got the installation tool here screwed on to the valve stem and ready to pull that through. Before I do that, what I've got in the habit of doing, because I live up in the Northeast in the salt belt, and we have a lot of corrosion on our cars up here, and this, you know, people who are in Arizona and Florida and other places where you don't see snow and don't see salt, you don't have to pay attention to this. But for up here, I use just like a little thin layer of silicone seal on the surface of my valve stems, and that prevents it from corroding. It seals out the water, and it keeps that interface sealed and corrosion free. And I've been doing that a long time. It really works well. And I use it on the beads of tires too, to prevent leaks there from corrosion, because I used to be plagued with these leaks on my Cadillac wheels. They would corrode, and I kept taking them back to the tire store, and they kept saying, okay, we'll reseal it, and they'd reseal it and reseal it. And finally I started doing my own tires, and I use silicone seal, you know, this RTV. I use clear silicone seal, and it actually makes everything come apart easier. I know I've heard people that have never tried it are afraid that, oh, you'll glue your tire and you'll never be able to get it apart and you'll have to throw the whole thing out. No way. It's just the opposite. It makes everything come apart easier. So, because this is like very supple rubber, and it doesn't stick to anything that much. And you can usually kind of peel it off. So anyway, so I'm going to put that on. just like a little bit of a little dab on around here on this part, and so when I pull it through, it'll distribute it. And but you don't want to put too much on there. You don't want to get it like in that hole there or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to do that right now. So that's all I do right there. Now I'm going to install this. There it is. Installed. So it's in, and it's got a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of that silicone seal. You can kind of see it there. It's really hard to get this thing to focus. It's not behaving itself at all today. But yeah, that's all it is. So it's no big deal, but that's one less thing to worry about in the future. Pull the tape off now. Just make sure that's lined up right. Pull the wood blocks out. One thing I wanted to say about getting those wood blocks in there, it's really hard to do unless you do this one thing, which I just thought of because it just fell off the blocks I had it on underneath. You can see there's some wood underneath the tire. So I had this up kind of propped up on those wood blocks underneath there, just on the edge of the rim, so that you can put your hand underneath here, you know, and that makes it so that when you push down on the tire and try to get those wood blocks in, you can actually push the tire down and it doesn't get hung up on the ground. And so that, if you don't do that, you won't be able to get those blocks in there, big enough blocks, in order to get the tool in there to get that screw off. So that's really important. That wood that I have in there like that, that makes all this possible, I would say. And so now I just got to get that other block out. I think I'm going to need 2 hands for that. So I got the blocks out, and I'm going to be filling the tire next. So I'm just going to put a little soapy water around here, and just to lube this when I reinflate, and you know, that just makes things slip into place without having any friction. And like I said, a lot of times I'll do it with silicone seal, but I have my reasons why I'm not doing it this time. So anyway, I'm gonna connect the air hose and fill it up. All right, here we go. Just had to nudge it with my knee a little bit. And should be working okay. It's always satisfying. Let's see, what are we up to now? 28, 36 is what I need in this, according to the sticker on the door jamb. Let's see, how are we doing? And this, I really like this tire inflator because it's got a clamp to put this on here, and it's a, if I can get it to focus, a Kobalt from Lowe's, and I liked it so much I bought another one. So anyway, you want to let the air out, you just press on that little thing. It's perfect, and it's very accurate. So really happy with this thing. There. Okay. So that's it. It's filled. And if you're wondering how did I break the bead on the tire, I used this. I got it at Harbor Freight. I've had it for quite a while, and it's a Pittsburgh bead breaker. I don't know if they still sell them the same as this, but there it is. And so it works like this, and I had to have it on the highest notch, and even with those big 20-inch tires, it still worked. And I mean, they're wide too, so anyway, that worked. It's a little bit of a clunky kind of device, but it gets the job done. I've had it for quite a while, and I did see on another video where a guy was using a bead breaker that allowed him to attach this little device. Turns out it's kind of an expensive device. Just attach it right here, and with the tire deflated, it can get in behind the rim just enough, and it will break the bead. He didn't even have to take the tires off the car. So that was pretty interesting. And then, by not taking the tire off the car, then this business of where I had to put these blocks of wood like this to support the wheel. Well, you don't have to do that if you've got the thing still mounted on the car. So I can see advantages, as long as you don't mind spending a ton of money on that that device. But it was pretty cool. Hopefully somebody else starts making them and gets the price down on a bead breaker that you could just break the bead right here. It's really a handy thing to have if you're going to be changing these sensors. And so anyway, but I didn't have it, and I use my handy dandy Harbor Freight bead breaker. You get the idea. So when you get in, start the car. And then on this car, use this set of buttons here. And what you're going to do is you hit this button. Wait a minute. You gotta dismiss. You gotta dismiss anything that's current. And then you press that. It opens up that little section over there. Then you press and hold the select button there. So now tire learning active. Well, that's promising. So then you take this thing that you got off of Amazon or eBay or wherever I got it. This was like, I don't know, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. And so you go front left and you point this like right through the rubber where the valve stem is. You point it like right there like that, and there like that. Go passenger side front. You're going clockwise around the car, and again you're transmitting through the rubber. So it accepted that. And the passenger side rear, press the button. Yep, like that. Now this is the one that I just worked on. If I wasn't holding the phone, I'd be crossing my fingers. See what happens. Come on. There you go. So it is done, and let's see what we got here. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. No more tire pressure error. That's a drag. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to touch up those pressures and get them to be all the same, and I should be good. All right, well, I hope you liked the video and that it helps somebody. I know it was a little long-winded, but you know, that's the way I am. All right, have a good day.